Yes, yes, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we are live. Okay. So you're in tune too. You're tuned in to Boxing Talk with Raphie. What number are we on? I think there's been a mistake. What number are we on? Let's bring that down. Bring this up. Okay. Let me see if you'll see what I'm seeing. Yes, yes, yes. ERF Boxing up in the building. Okay. Let me drop that link out now. It's fresh on my mind. Okay. So, 1-2-1-2. Okay. First things first, what we're going to be talking about tonight. Well, as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat, let me do the sound check and make sure that I'm coming through loud and clear. Okay, let's do this. Stop the music just for a second as we go in and do the sound check. Let's do this. Stop the music just for a second. Yes, 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 that is good. Sound check complete. Pin this. Okay, we're in good shape. We're in good shape. Okay, so I know I made a mistake. Yes, yes, yes. It's not Boxing Talk with Raphie 3:30. So let me correct that right away. Let's get that sorted. It's got to be 3:31. It's got to be 3:31. We've already done 3:30. We can't have a duplicate. Can't have two different shows with the same number. So let's get in there straight away. Resolve that issue. 331. 331. Uh-oh. There's some more places where I gotta correct that shiznix. 331. Boxing Talk with Raphie 331. Yeah. Okay. It's good. It's good. Let's get back into it. Okay, who we got? Feel so sorry for Birdie Num Num. Really? Birdie, who's Birdie Num Num? Is that Coogie? Is that Coogie Bear? That's Reptile Lifestyle. Malcolm Marcel up in the building. Philip Carl Roberts up in the building. Okay, everybody's up in here. So let's get this thing underway. Okay, so how are we gonna start this shiznix? How are we gonna start this shiznix? In the StreamYard now. Looks kind of funny, but it's okay, it's good. Okay, so we've got the breaking news. Let's share this. We've got the breaking news. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so where is it? That's not it. Let's see over here. Okay, so Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte officially ordered by the WBC, meaning the Gypsy King must fight Whyte next or vacate his heavyweight world title. Okay, so that's the main topic of the show. We gotta warm in. We gotta warm into this. We can't just dive in just like that.
So, guys, I'm sure you've all seen and heard the news as to why I'm.
We gotta have a level of etiquette. We gotta do this thing right. So let's drop that down and let us warm in with.
So, guys, I'm sure you've all seen and heard the news as to why I'm not fighting on December the 18th now.
Very impatient. Oh, let me set this thing up. Okay, so where are we? There he is. There he is. So we're warming in. We're warming in. As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. I think we can do a banner. We can do a banner for this. Hold on. Forgot now to do them shiznicks. Can I even do it? Can I even do it? Let's have a look. Let's delete that and create this. Okay, let's add that. Let's have a look. Okay, it's something I can't do on the other service. Okay, so Tommy Fury withdraws from Jake Paul. We're warming in. We're warming in, and let's listen to Tommy Fury. Hold on a second. Let's not make any mistakes here. Let me mute myself. Let me know if the audio is not as it is supposed to be. Shahid Soli. Haven't heard from Shahid in how long? Damn. Back in the Dizzy. Back in the original Dizzy. Or the original Cats. You know, as I was, what was it, Monday? You know, I normally do a show. I often do a show on Monday, but since I did the Sunday show, I thought, let the people breathe. Let the people breathe. The last show was like a fine wine. Just let it breathe. Let it breathe. So, you know, I had time to hop around to a few other spots on the YouTube boxing map. I had a chance to hop around. And it was interesting, man. It was interesting because, the Raphie's not one to exalt himself at all. I don't believe in that shiznix, but you know something, I have to be honest. On my journeys, when I floated around, went around different spots on the YouTube boxing community, you know, I have to be honest, I came away thinking, damn, we're doing a good job over here at the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. We're doing a good job, you know, collectively, all hands on the pump. We do a damn good job over here. That's what I walked away with. That's the impression that I walked away with. Raphie is happy. We're doing a damn good job over here. Anyway, I'll just share that thought. But anyway, let's get into this thing. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Raphie. Let's go. Okay. So I thought I muted my mic. I thought I'd been talking into a muted mic just then. It was a horrible feeling. It was working away. Hey, Shahid, the internet's all over the world, brother. The internet's all over the world. You could have still been in tune to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. I'm just joking. Hope all is well with you. I hope all is well with you. Okay, so let's get into this shiznix. It's good to have you up in here. Okay, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and hit that bell icon, folks. But anyway, here we go. Okay, I'm muting my mic now. Let me know if the audio, anything wonky with it. Okay.
So, guys, I'm sure you've all seen and heard the news as to why I'm not fighting on December the 18th now. Just thought I'd come in here and tell you myself. Training camp couldn't have gone any better for me for the first week, 2 weeks. But then I contracted a bacterial chest infection, which led me go to the gym and just not being able to breathe. You know, I was in my sparring sessions, pad work sessions, whatever it may be, just not being able to breathe and coughing up huge amounts of phlegm all the time. It led me to sleepless nights. And that went on for about 4 weeks because I had the mindset of I'm going to keep training. I'm going get through this. I'm going to have the fight no matter what. And 4 weeks passed, and we decided to have a sparring session. And I took a little clip to the body, and because my body was so weak due to the virus inside of me, I instantly knew something wasn't right. I was throwing up from the pain. I was doubled over. I literally got my bag and went straight to the hospital, straight for an MRI scan. And I got the results back the same day, and the results uncovered that I had a clean break in my rib. I'm going to insert the picture here so you can see for yourself. And I had multiple fractures. I still, for the following week thought, do you know what, it'll be fine. I can fight. And then it really, it took the doctor and my whole team to really say, listen, you've got a broken rib and multiple fractures here. Like, you can't fight. And even now, sitting here filming this video, it hasn't really sank in that I'm not fighting. All my focus is on right now is getting a new fight date set and recovering. That's all I can do right now. I can't do anything else apart from get my body right as quickly as possible and look for a new fight date with Jake Paul. There's no other fight that I want out there. That's the fight that I want next. And like I said, guys, I'm just going to recover now, and hopefully we can work out a new date for next year. Finally, guys, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who supported me throughout the whole training camp. Obviously, everyone's going to have their own opinions about the situation and what they think, but there is nothing, when it comes down to it, I can do about being medically unfit to fight. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you very soon.
Okay. I think the audio was good. Those were the words of Tommy Fury, who withdraws from the Jake Paul fight and is pulled up some MRI scan to verify that he does indeed have a rib break. Got punched in the rib and his rib snapped. So, unfortunately, Tommy Fury will not be facing Jake Paul on December the 18th. I know many of you will be heartbroken, tearful, inconsolable. Okay, so that's the news on that. That's the warming video. We got bigger things to talk about. The pressure of being disowned by the Tyson clan was far too much. Must have eaten some expired duck. Mr. D Dubs up in the building. Okay. So that's the news on the. And also, stepping in will be none other than Tyron Woodley. So Tyron Woodley replaces Tommy Fury in the Jake Paul fight. I don't know. I'm not really. I wasn't looking forward to the fight in the first place, and now it's Tyron Woodley again. Yeah. It doesn't really move the needle for me. Don't move the needle for me. Yeah, he pulled out because he's got a broken rib and a chest infection. Something like that. Chest infection and a broken rib. That's why he pulled out the D-dubs. Okay. Let's have a look. This fight had little to no promotion. I had a feeling it wouldn't go through. Tommy Fury voice. Yeah. Well, the promotion's still on. Tyron Woodley steps in place. Let's have a look. John Fury's a prime candidate for a straight jacket. I thought you'd say John Fury's a prime candidate to step in. Buddy, will you go on Instagram and search? Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm going to do that. A lie infection. The pigeon is up in the building. Tyson follows it. Oh, it's an interesting one. Okay, so that's it for Tommy Fury. Says he hopes he can get it back on for next year. I don't know if there's much of a public demand for it. Yeah, what's up, Pigeon? I don't know if there's much of a demand for it at all, but anyway, I guess they've done their maths and it makes financial sense, so have at it. have at it. Okay, so let's stop sharing that. And hold on a second. What's going on? What's going on? Let's bring up the topic. Let's bring up the topic. Let's not mess around. Let's not play around with it. Let's just get straight into it. Okay, so what's that? Why is it scrolling? Okay, so first things first, let me just take a moment to share my shiznicks. Let me share this out, then we get into it. What's going on? Let's paste that up in there. And hit the share button. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Share. Okay. That's good. There's a couple more places and then let's get into this shiznix. Okay. Secret Society is dead. Secret Society is dead. Let's drop in here. One more place and then let's go. Let's do this. Let's have a look. Okay. Let's just get into the chat before. Oh, dang. Let me get the banner down. Let's get rid of that and create a new. As a matter of fact, there's an easier way to do this. Why don't I just copy the title? Couple of clicks and it's done. Boom, boom, boom. What does it look like when it's down? Okay, okay. Let's get into it. Okay, so Tyson Fury. Let me have a look in the chat real quick. Look, see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Andre Adari Pennant. Are you Jamaican? Yes. 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 Yes, yes, yes. That's where we come from. Jamaican British, Jamaican English, Jamaican English. So let's have a look. Andre Pennant up in the building. Adari. What's this? Yeah, because I saw Woodley versus Paul 2 announced, and I was thinking, why are they announcing this when he's fighting Tommy Fury? Yep, Tommy Fury's out. D-Dubs is out. Tommy's out. Pigeon says Fury will duck. Uh-oh. Yeah, man. Good shiznicks. Good shiznicks. Good to have you up in the building. Okay. We hope Tyson Fury don't chicken out for the Dillian Whyte fight. Dillian must be buzzing, mate. Must be buzzing. It's got to be buzzing by now. Yeah, Lady Chan did a great live. She does a great live all the time. Very good. Good over there. Okay. Starting to like Dillian too. Lately. Just gets a raw deal. I wonder if it will go to purse bids. Fury don't pull out. Damn, it's the late Nevlin. The late Nevlin has found his way back home. Okay, 100%, 100%. Let's hope the WBC don't change their minds again. Buzzing for Dillian Whyte. Okay, so as a matter of fact, let's get the first poll in. Let's get the first poll in before we get into this shizzle. Okay. Will Fury honor his mandatory obligations? Okay, question mark. Will Tyson Fury honor his mandatory obligations, i.e. fight Dillian Whyte next within the stipulated time? Ask your community. Okay. So where we at? Is the poll? Okay, the poll is up. Will Tyson Fury honor his mandatory obligations? Yay or nay? Okay, let's have a look at this thing here. So what's on top here? Okay, that's good. That's good. What else we doing? What else we doing right now? Right about now. Just want to get that in there. Okay. So let's get into it without further delay. Let's do this. Okay. I'll put it back up. All right. Okay. So Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte officially ordered by the WBC. Meaning the Gypsy King must fight Whyte next or vacate his heavyweight world title. Let's get into this shiz nicks. Okay. Tyson likes the Dillian Whyte fight. I could really see that being next one. Yeah, it don't sound like he liked it. It's turned down that fight multiple times before. Okay. Let's get into this. Let's have a look. Let's see what they're saying. On a momento. What's this here? Okay. Okay. Check that later. Okay, we're good. Okay, so now the WBC have now officially ordered Tyson Fury to defend his heavyweight title against Dillian Whyte next. Okay, so the parties are currently in the free negotiations period and have 30 days to agree a deal or purse bids will be called for. So to answer the question about the purse bids, will they agree or will it go to purse bids? Well, I think it goes to purse bids. So all it takes for it to go to purse bid is for one party to not agree. So yeah, all the Whyte has to say is, can't agree with that. Boom, we're going to purse bids. We go to purse bids. What's going on? Let's hope the WBC don't change their minds again. Well, I don't see how they can change their mind if it's mandated. I don't know. I don't see how they can go back from the mandate right now. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I haven't heard talked about. Well, I haven't heard anybody talking about it yet. This is breaking news. It's fresh. One factor that comes to mind is what about the the arbitrator? I thought this shiznix was going to arbitration. I thought Dillian Whyte was in arbitration. So clearly there has been a movement, or there appears to have been movement with the arbitration. Is it the case that the arbitrator has arbitrated? Has the arbitrator arbitrated? Is that what's moved this thing along? Because remember, the holdup was the arbitration. The WBC was saying, well, we can't do nothing because it's in arbitration. But now they've made the move. So are we to take it that the arbitration has concluded? That's one possibility. Another possibility is that, hold on, what happens if I do this? That's what I don't. That's one of the things, one of the reasons I don't like this aspect of this particular thing, this service. Certain things I just can't do. I can do elsewhere. So are we to take it that, yeah, so that's one possibility. Are we to take it that the WBC feels that if they don't get a move on, if they don't pull their finger out, as we say over here in the UK, are we to take it that the WBC is concerned that that they should be doing this anyway, and if they don't do it in a timely manner, the arbitrator is going to frown upon them? That's another possibility. So this don't mean that this don't necessarily mean that the arbitrator has arbitrated. This could simply be the WBC covering their ample ass. Yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit of food for thought. I want to see Dillian Whyte versus Fury next. Sick of it all. Fury going duck. Oh, we don't know that. Or is that a chicken? That looks like a chicken. Yeah, that's a chicken. That's chicken. Wow. I don't know if this is true, but the Chinese Yoda, aka the Pigeon Man, says no, Fury won't. He said it yesterday. Fury said it yesterday. He won't fight Dillian. He said it on IFL in Cardiff. OMG. I don't know. Can anybody confirm or can anyone confirm that? So Tyson Fury is still struggling. It's like a bride getting dragged to the altar. Like a bride getting dragged to the altar. Dr. Woodok up in the building. Bipolar episode scheduled 2 months before. Oh no, I hope not. AJ, don't step aside. Well, there's been step aside talk, hasn't there? There's been talk. The AJ, there's been misquoting. There's been much misquoting in the press, saying that AJ says he'll step aside for 40 million. They'd have to come up with 40 million. Did he actually say that? And if he did say that, he knows that Bob ain't into paying no step aside money. So it's just another way of saying, nah, I ain't stepping aside. How many times does the man have to say he ain't gonna step aside? How many times? Okay. I want to see the purse splits. If it's 50-45, then Whyte will make more than Fury because he got to pay Bob, Frank, and MT Global. OMG. OMG. AK Super Dope up in the building. The arbitration must have worked. Is the arbitration complete? That's the question. As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. What's this? Hopefully Fury will realize he needs to fulfill his obligations. Well, is he concerned about his obligation? I have not seen the interview. I have not seen it either. Fury said he got 2 fights left yesterday, and from his tone, watch it, guys, won't beat Dillian. Well, if it's not Dillian, then he'll have to vacate the belt. It's very simple. Dillian is born from his mother. How could he possibly beat Tyson Fury? OMG. Vizo. Yes, 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 Rafa. I want to see this fight. We all want to see it. We all want to see that. Definitely. Regards to AJ, the media put 2 and 2 together and made 10. Yeah, they're making a big zero of it. Making a big zero of it. Fury said, Dillian, not ever beat Mando one day for him. AJ needs to sort himself out quickly. Says Shahid Soli. I'm the biggest fan of his. The last performance against Usyk was not acceptable. Unacceptable. I'm beginning to believe Neo Matrix style. Dillian dropped Fury inspiring. Well, that's the word. That's what's been said. But let's check out some more of this article. Okay, so following his trilogy triumph over Deontay Wilder, October the 9th, the WBC put out a ruling about what would come next for the Gypsy King. The sanctioning body stated they would give Fury 30 days to try and agree an undisputed title fight with Alexander Usyk, or he must defend against their interim belt holder, Dillian Whyte. However, Anthony Joshua triggered his contractual clause to force a rematch with the Ukrainian, who beat him in September. When Fury's 30-day, how long is this thing? How long is this piece? Looks like it's going to go on forever. What's this? How does that look on the screen? Just curious. Okay, I like it. For some bizarre reason. Okay, so let's get to the crux of the matter. What does this say? Okay, so when Fury's 30-day deadline passed without an agreement to fight Usyk, the WBC did not immediately order the Whyte fight due to what they say was the challenger's ongoing arbitration dispute against them. Okay. However, they have now done so, and Keith Idek first reported that both parties were notified of the order on Tuesday, which is today. The WBC have tweeted to confirm this. Dang. We got the receipts. We got the receipts. I done told you. We got the receipts. Okay, so the WBC statement read. The WBC, I'll do this, we'll let Mauricio Suleiman read this out. Mauricio, please take it away. Oh, thank you, Raphael. Thank you. I have the honor of issuing this statement. And the WBC hereby orders the start of the free negotiations period pursuant to the WBC rules and regulations for the mandatory bout between WBC World Heavyweight Champion Tyson Fury and the mandatory challenger and the WBC Interim World Champion Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte, as you know, is a good friend of the WBC. Okay, so there you have it in black and white. We got the receipts. Okay, so let's have a little looky. What people are saying. Okay. AJ will be back, says Chinese Yoda. Dillian can cause the upset against Fury. And don't forget, folks, get your votes in to the poll, because I want to do a couple more. And also smash that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, then please kindly do so, as it helps the visibility of the show. Well, that's what they tell me. Okay. 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 Looks like there's some movement for sure. Oh, sure. For sure. Okay, there's some movement in the secret society. It's been dead of late. I don't know. I hope it's not the COVID, the pandemic thing. Okay. Fury ducked big clit. Damn. OMG. What makes you think that was me? What makes you think that was me? Let's have a look. Raphie multitasking here. Where does Bob do? Okay, so damn, I'm interacting with the WB. I'm interacting with the secret society and it's bringing up thoughts and hey, so where will the fight be? Oh, we're jumping the gun a little bit because Fury's got to accept it first. But hey, it's a natural for the UK. But I heard Bob saying we're gonna do it in Las Vegas. We're gonna do it in Las Vegas. So, Bob wants Vegas. Bob wants Vegas, doesn't he? Bob wants Vegas, doesn't he? Question mark. Damn. Raphie multitasking. Boom. Okay. Close that down. See what people are saying over here. It's going down. It's going down. Eddie would be crazy to do the dirty on Whyte by pushing for undisputed. Can't do that. Can't do that. This fight should come before. This fight might come before the Joshua Usyk rematch, or certainly it's highly likely, highly possible that it could be around the same time. Vizzo wants Fury to get sparked out. OMG. Certainly is a crafty one. Certainly is a crafty one. BJS type dude. BJS attacking kids in bars now. OMG. I want Fury to defend his title, then leave the sport. No one appreciates him. No one appreciates him. Damn, well, you gotta speak up for him. You gotta speak up for the guy. Gotta speak up for the guy. If you appreciate him, then speak up for the guy. I don't think people appreciate the fact that he's been ducking Dillian for as long as he has. I don't think they appreciate that. That's for sure. Fight has to happen in the UK. You'd have thought that. But I've seen Bob say it out of his own mouth. That the fight's going to be in live. That'll be a good fight for Las Vegas. I've seen him say it. I've heard him say it. I've heard it come out of his own mouth. Fury's more bothered about his UK tour getting drunk. OMG. And in comes the man like Iron Kong.
Raphie.
Iron Kong, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, I good, man. A little bit chilly here. You know what I'm saying? Might need to break out a light sweater. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could relate to you, Raphie. You know what I mean?
Well, the Raphie is the hooded man. As per usual, it's cold like a mother. It's cold like a mother goose's tail.
Oh man.
Over here, we got some storms. We got some storms. We got some rainstorms. You know.
Jeez.
So it's cold and
It's like icy rain. What is that?
no, fortunately it ain't icy. Fortunately, it ain't icy rain. We had ice about a couple weeks back, and the Raphie don't like the ice, but the Raphie did well. I did okay. You know, I didn't slip. Fortunately, I'm glad I didn't slip. I don't like the ice. I'm not a skater. I'm not a skater guy. You know what I'm saying? Never, not really. Skating ain't for me. That's not one of my skills. It's not one of my skills.
You mean all these years you in England, you ain't know how to skate, Raphie?
I don't know how to skate, my friend. I've been ice skating one time, but I just got this. I don't know. I got this. It's just not natural to the Raphie. I've got no affinity for the ice, no affinity whatsoever. So it's kind of got a mental block with the skating. I did back in the day. I did a little bit of skateboarding, but somehow that doesn't seem to have translated to the ice for me. I got a bit of a mental block. I need to, you know what I'm saying? I need to get through it.
That's in your genetics, Raphie. You're a black man. You're a tropical person.
Yes.
You're a man whose people is found close to the equator. Ain't no ice down here, sir.
No.
You into sand, ocean, you know, palm trees, whatever. Then things like that.
That's me. Those things are me. The ice, nah. Never really worked for me. But the iron count. You've heard the good news. I don't know if you just heard the good news. You heard well, I shouldn't color it and I shouldn't cloud it. You've heard the news that the WBC have finally mandated Tyson Fury or Dillian Whyte to fight Tyson Fury. They've mandated the fight.
Congratulations to Dillian Whyte finally getting his shot like he deserves with the WBC belt. Yeah. Also getting a fair share of the money pot. You know, you have these ridiculous Tyson Fury fans out here. You know, it's weird, right? How Tyson Fury fans used to praise him. Oh, he ain't no businessman. Anthony Joshua is a businessman. But the whole purpose of trying to make Dillian Whyte not try to get the mandatory was that they don't want to pay Dillian Whyte any money, right? Because Bob Arum is cheap and Tyson Fury is disrespectful. This is a man, when he was offered a fight with Anthony Joshua for Wembley, the year Joshua lost, Frank Warren called a 60-40 percentage split with Anthony Joshua a derisive offer. And he turned that down to go fight Deontay Wilder for less money. So 60-40 was offered for Anthony Joshua. But they wanted but his ridiculous fans are okay with offering Dillian Whyte nonsense 20% and all his foolishness. This is a Tyson Fury at that time who had no belt. The lineal belt doesn't count. He's not a lineal champion. He had no matter how much drug-induced hallucinations, no matter how much drug-induced ramblings he does, he's not no lineal champion. He's a fool and a jester and a cherry picker who cherry-picked Deontay Wilder. He said it himself, by the way. So he was offered that with Anthony Joshua, and that was derisive. It was disrespectful. But somehow offering Dillian Whyte 80-20 is not disrespectful, and his mentally addled fans celebrate that foolishness, right? This is why I don't like these people who have sliding scales of morality and standards. Yeah. So I'm glad for Dillian Whyte. I hope he does well in the fight. I think Tyson will fight him. Tyson Fury is not interested in the UK market. He's fought all his fights in America. And this is why I don't understand these UK people who suddenly find this love for Tyson Fury. But I know why some of you like Tyson Fury, right? I know why. This is a man who has brought no big fights to the UK. Not one big fight. Not one. Didn't even try to bring Deontay Wilder third fight to the UK.
Disgraceful.
And he had power over that fight.
Disgraceful.
What a joke.
Disgraceful.
So congratulations to Dillian Whyte. I hope you get your fair share, and let's see a good fight.
Yeah, absolutely disgraceful. That's a good point there. Tyson Fury didn't bring one big fight to the UK. I saw some post on Facebook saying he was a people's champ. ERF Boxing. Tyson Fury allegedly is the people's champ.
What people? Who are these people? I don't know, but he ain't my people. He's not my people.
Not your champ.
I don't know. I'm glad Dillian's got his finally, Dillian Whyte has been called as mandatory.
Yeah.
Mauricio has been shamed into doing this. Finally. But here we go. You know what? Dillian deserves his shot. It's about time, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury never wants to fight the fights he's supposed to fight. He got out of the Klitschko fight. He tried getting out of the Deontay Wilder rematches both times. And whether it's the WBC or Frank Warren or Bob Arum or whoever it is on his side, tried getting out of this Dillian Whyte mandatory situation. So it's about time Dillian Whyte got his shot. If everybody thinks Dillian Whyte isn't great, I'm not a massive fan of Dillian Whyte, but let's see Tyson Fury do a job on him, and then Dillian Whyte can go away if he's that bad of a boxer. But the guy deserves his shot. He's paid his dues. He's fought better fighters in the past about 5 years than Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder has. He's fought better fighters. So if anyone deserves the shot, and I'm happy for him, is Dillian Whyte.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
And that's what I find funny also. This order's come down right in the mix of things where the media has been spinning, saying, "Oh, AJ's going to take step aside money," and then bam, this order's come out. So the step aside money thing is irrelevant now because Tyson Fury has to fight Dillian Whyte now.
Yes, or vacate.
But if he vacates, there's no fight in Usyk.
No.
If he vacates, what's Anthony Joshua was going to step aside for?
If he vacates, he can still fight. Well, he can't fight Usyk because Usyk's fighting Joshua. But if Joshua did step aside, then surely Tyson would still have his lineal belt.
Yeah, but the whole point of it is for undisputed, and I'm not having this lightweight franchise debacle again. No. Just fight Dillian, beat him. AJ will fight Usyk, fight the winner. That's all I want. I don't want this, or I'm lineal. I don't need the WBC to be undisputed. Yes, you do.
Yes.
You do.
Yes, 100%. Yes, you do. Tyson Fury can fight Dillian Whyte or step aside. The choice is his. Let's go into the chat. The poll, which we were going to close now. Okay, so will Tyson Fury honor his mandatory obligations to fight Dillian Whyte? 22% of respondents said yes, and a whopping 78% of respondents said nay. So OMG. Looks like the vast majority of people feel that Tyson Fury is going to try and squirrel out of his mandatory obligations. Let's have a look at what. So, Ryan Kong, do you think Tyson Fury is going to squirrel out, or you think he's going to man up and face Dillian Whyte after all these amount of times when he's turned down to fight?
No, he'll fight.
Yeah.
I think he'll fight Dillian. No, I think he'll fight. No, I don't think Tyson Fury, will be. He's a very bold man, but I think he'll fight Dillian Whyte.
Yeah.
I think he thinks Dillian Whyte is somebody that he can walk to win that fight. You hearing me?
Yeah. I hear you.
I would edge Tyson to win that fight. It's going to be a good fight, but I would edge Tyson to win it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. I mean, I think he'll fight.
think he'll fight. And what can I say? OMG. OMG. After his I think the fight doctor's been hibernating. I don't know if the mushrooms are readily available in the winter, but fight doctor has come out of hibernation. The fight doctor, talk to me.
Fight Doctor's in the house on Rick James status. As always, we keep a healthy store of mushrooms in the storage bin. So we are never short. Always top shelf.
Always top shelf. I'm hoping that that's a refrigerated area.
Of course.
Okay.
We have the walk-in refrigerator.
The walk-in refrigerator. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're talking about. Okay, fight doctor, talk to me. I know you always come with a mushroom infused thought process. So come with it, brother. Come with it.
So I have a question. What fight is of more significance right now? Like, what is the fight that means the most in the heavyweight division at this particular moment in time? Would it be a contest between Fury and Usyk, or would it be the mandatory between Fury and Dillian Whyte? What fight is more significant right now in the heavyweight division? That's my question to the panel and to the chat.
Okay, I'll go first on this one. I would say, to me, the most important fight right now in the heavyweight division is for the unifiers, for the unification, and that is the fight between Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua. That's my view for unification.
So how is that a unification fight when Joshua has no belt?
He's fighting. Usyk has Joshua. Well, Usyk beat Joshua and therefore took his belts. And there are 3 belts: the WBA, WBO, the IBF. At least 3 belts. And so that's to be the unified champion. Fury and Whyte, they're fighting simply 1 belt, and that's the WBC belt. I know you're going to say they're fighting for the Ring Magazine belt. They're fighting for the Ring Magazine belt. So the WBC and the Ring Magazine belt. Yeah, cool. What's the most important to me is the guys who are fighting for the WBA, WBO, and IBF. That's the unified champion.
So in your estimation, right?
Yes.
A fight between Usyk and Joshua.
Yes.
Is more significant.
Yes.
Than a fight between Usyk and Fury, despite the fact that Usyk already soundly beat Joshua. It's not like it was a close fight. It's not like
6-4. We talk about 6-4 fights being close all the time. So
6-4 is a 10-round fight.
6-4 in a 12-round fight.
6 rounds to 4 in a 12-round fight. You sure about that?
You got me. I was just testing how under the influence you were, my good friend.
Mushrooms haven't kicked in quite yet.
8-4.
Okay, so my question is, in your estimation, a fight between Usyk and Joshua is more significant than a fight between Usyk and Fury, despite the fact that Usyk already soundly beat Joshua. It's not like there's a question mark as to who won that fight.
Well, we have to find. Well, it's the winner of Usyk Joshua versus the winner of Fury Whyte.
That's not.
That's what we're trying to get to.
Yeah,
so the winner of those two fights are gonna fight. These fights are contracted right now, so we got to go through with the process. and rightly so. And rightly
right.
so.
And I understand that there are contracts and this, that, and the other, and that there are obligations, legal obligations. I understand that. But my question is, take all of the rematch clauses, take all of
The most important fight that we're trying to
mandates.
get to is undisputed. That's the most important fight that we're trying to get to. Undisputed. We're trying to get to that. We're trying to get to that, and hopefully, once these contracted fights are being completed, hopefully in the first half of 2022, we're going to get to that.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Jump on in.
So this year, what was your take on Joshua Fury when Wilder was in arbitration with Fury? What was your take on that? Which was, I'm sure your take was Wilder is entitled to his rematch, right?
So is that question for me? Okay, so my take on it was I wanted to see Joshua and Fury fight. However, Fury was contractually obligated to fight Wilder for the third time, but that's not the fight I wanted to see. Because
but we're in the same. So right, we're in the same situation right now, yes. Opposite way around. Right. So I don't understand. Your question is a bit redundant because we know Joshua is contracted to fight Usyk, so it doesn't make any sense which one is the most important. So Joshua is fighting Usyk. We know that. Tyson Fury therefore has to fight. He's mandatory.
But listen, I understand all of that, right? I understand that in order for Tyson Fury to hang on to his WBC trinket, he has to render unto Caesar. I understand that. I understand that if that Usyk, if he wants to continue his career without a lengthy court battle, he will have to satisfy his legal obligation to fight Joshua in a rematch. I understand that. But what I also understand is that a fight between Fury and a fight between Fury and Dillian Whyte is insignificant in the grander scheme of things.
So
I understand. I understand.
Let
me finish. But please let me finish. I understand that a rematch between Usyk and Fury is insignificant in the grander scheme of things because those two fights do not provide clarity in the heavyweight division. Now, the top. Let me finish, please. I'm about to land this plane. The top two heavyweights in the world right now, unquestionably, is Fury and Usyk. There's no question. Now, a year ago, the waters may have been a little murky 2 years ago as to who the top two heavyweights were, but that was then. This is now. In 2021, about to be 2022, there's no question as to who the top two heavyweights are. They are both undefeated.
Okay, so can I say this? Early 2021, there was clearly two guys at the top of the division then, and that was Tyson Fury and AJ. Yes. AJ fighting Usyk was it's insignificant, as you put Dillian Whyte fighting Fury. This is the same situation reversed, but people still said Wilder deserves his rematch because it's contracted, which is fair enough. I never had an argument with that, and this is the same thing. So it doesn't make. I don't get what you're getting to because we've had this already. This is a repeat. This is literally a repeat.
I was not one of those people who thought Wilder deserved his rematch.
No, because it's contracted. It's contracted, so he deserves his rematch.
He had his rematch because of the contracts involved. However, I was of the opinion then, as I am now, he did not deserve a rematch because he didn't do anything to deserve a rematch. He got knocked out. How is it you deserve a rematch? You get knocked out, and it wasn't the fight. I didn't want to see the third fight because it was meaningless.
Well, it happened though, didn't it?
I agree with you, but what I'm saying is
we have to go through the process. We have to go through the process. The third fight happened because it was contracted, so we have to go through the process.
Okay, but see, again, listen. The point that I'm trying to make here, right, is that the whole idea of undisputed is meaningless. And in this instance, the idea of undisputed is preventing the fight in the heavyweight division that needs to happen from happening. The only fight of any significance, the only fight of any real importance in the heavyweight division is Usyk and Fury.
Can I ask you this?
I was going to say this. The only fight of any significance a year ago in the heavyweight division was Joshua Fury. Yeah, and then before that, the only fight of any significance, you could argue, championship-wise in the heavyweight division was Joshua Wilder. And those fights never happened. So I don't know if we can cry over this. I don't know if we can cry over this because we'd have been crying for 3 years straight. So I don't see any point in crying over this situation. The situation is that we got some contracted fights that are about to go down, and the winner of each, hopefully, will face each other.
But the point that I'm trying to make,
we should be happy that we're going to get to some kind of resolution. We should be happy.
Can I just ask this to Fight Doctor? Which fight would have been better, a Joshua Fury or a Fury Usyk? Which one is a bigger fight?
Ask the question one more time, please.
Which fight at the times when they could have happened?
Yeah,
Joshua Fury at the beginning of this year, or the Fury Usyk at the beginning of next year? Which fight would have been bigger if it was to be made?
Joshua Fury.
So I don't understand there was barely any uproar for that fight not happening. I'm not saying you, but I'm saying in the public there was barely any uproar. But yet now it's Usyk who's got the belt. Now everyone wants Fury to fight Usyk. Everyone wasn't saying they wanted Fury to fight AJ. It was Wilder needs his rematch. Wilder's contracted. We're going through arbitration. All this. Now Fury's finished Wilder off for the third time. It's it should be Usyk. Like the uproar should have been the beginning of this year. So if there was no uproar then I don't see the call for it now.
Well, I'm not understanding like what the point of that argument is, because in my mind, the boxing public, the sport. So the sport of boxing is largely driven. The finance in the sport of boxing is largely driven by an uneducated fan base, the casual fans, right? But the casual fans don't know anything about boxing, which is probably the reason why there wasn't a call for these fights that should have happened to happen. But what I'm saying is the only fight of any significance, of any real significance in heavyweight division, the fight that needs to happen right now is Fury Usyk.
No, not at all.
And the idea of undisputed, unfortunately, is getting in the way of that fight.
Not at all.
Of course it is.
No, not at all. We've already outlined the fact that the most significant fight in the heavyweight division a couple of years back would have been a year back would have been Fury Joshua, and then a couple of years back, maybe 3 years back, the most significant fight would have been Joshua Wilder. But those fights didn't happen, so there's no point in crying about this situation now. You're saying a fight that you want to see is not going to happen. A must-see fight is not going to happen. Hey, that's cricket, isn't it? That's the game. That's boxing, isn't it? But what we do have and what we should be celebrating is the fact that we're coming closer. Coming closer to number one fighting number two. We're coming closer to that, and for that we should celebrate. Surely.
Yeah. What we have right now are two second-rate fights that are about to take place.
Second-rate fights.
Which are semifinals.
Usyk.
Semifinals. Yeah.
Okay, they're still second-rate.
Semifinals.
Can I just ask, Fight Doctor, what do you mean by it's stopping it because of the idea of undisputed? I'll just clarify that.
So Usyk needs to keep his belts, right? And Fury needs to keep his belt, right? So that the winners of their respective fights can consolidate.
Yeah.
And that's the driving force behind what's happening right now in the sport of boxing. However, the idea of undisputed is preventing the top two heavyweights from seeing each other, all right, and providing clarity in the heavyweight division.
I don't know what you mean by the idea. I don't know what you mean by the idea.
Because the idea is that Fury makes his mandatory so he can keep his belt. Usyk fights Joshua so that he can keep the belts that he won from Joshua, and then the winner of those two fights can consolidate. So that's the idea. The idea of Undisputed. However, the idea of Undisputed is getting in the way of the top two heavyweights fighting each other.
That idea has been getting in the way for the last 3 years. Now, also,
and that's exactly what the problem is.
So now we're closer now. We're closer now than we've been in a while to getting Undisputed again. We were almost close when Tyson Fury said there were all the papers. Yeah, we got the papers. King Khalid has, assured me everything's good. It's on like Donkey Kong. It's on like Donkey Kong. So that's the closest we've been in a while. But of course, Fury was talking out, from the wrong place.
Fight Doctor, also the idea also what's the word I'm looking at? It also verifies and rubber stamps that the best two in the division will be fighting each other, because if Fury can keep his belts and if Usyk can keep his belts against AJ, that literally rubber stamps those two guys are definitely the number one. So,
wait, can I interrupt?
No, before you say anything else, Fight Doctor, I just want to ask you this poignant question. If Dilly, you said the top two, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. So,
is that not universally accepted?
If Dillian Whyte beats Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua beats Alexander Usyk, who then would you have as top 1 and 2?
If Whyte beats Fury, then Whyte becomes the best heavyweight in the world. If Joshua beats Usyk, then then Joshua, in my mind, would resume the position of the number 2 heavyweight in the world, in my mind. But even that probably could be argued. Who knows? I don't know. But what I do know is this. Let me finish.
Either way, we're going to be seeing number 1 fight number 2.
No, that's not a guarantee.
If the winners of these fighters,
why is that not guaranteed?
I'm more than happy to explain. So what does Fury have to do right now? Fury has to make his mandatory, right? And he only has 1 belt. Now, Usyk has 3 belts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure one of them is going to be asking him to make a mandatory if he beats Joshua, or one of those organizations are going to demand.
Undisputed would trump that.
Okay, that's the theory. But in practice,
yeah, Undisputed would trump that.
It's not trumping it right now, is it?
No, but what you've got to realize, one second. What you have to realize, IBF has already been taken care of by AJ, by fighting Pulev. The WBO has already been satisfied by fighting Usyk. There's only the WBA, and the WBA is not due till the end of next year.
All right, we'll see.
So
that's just my understanding on it. So it wouldn't get in the way of the Undisputed,
but
because those mandatories have already been taken care of.
But the belts are getting in the way of Undisputed right now. Okay.
Yeah, but the belts have always.
I'm sorry. The belts are getting in the way of the number 1 and number 2 heavyweights fighting right now.
But that's always happened. That's always happened.
Exactly, and that's the problem. That's what I'm trying to understand.
I haven't heard you being overly upset about this previous years.
No, what are you talking about?
Raphie, also, what I'm saying is,
I haven't heard you being overly upset about this this matter in previous years.
Raphie, I've come on this show and I've consistently underscored how pointless and how useless these sanctioning organizations are. This isn't anything new. I've always said this. I've always held the position that Undisputed is meaningless. Undisputed is meaningless. As are the WBC, the WBA, IBF, WBO, WB, whomever. They're all insignificant. They have less than no meaning. They get in the way of big fights happening.
This is the closest it's been to happening, though, because you look at the four guys who are in this conversation right now. There's more chance of the winners of those two fights fighting each other than there ever has been.
Yeah.
There's more chances than it ever has been.
But
Yeah, you should be happy. You should be happy.
So I understand where you're coming from.
We've been here
I
before.
understand.
And we're gonna be here again. And we're gonna be here
and that's the problem. We're gonna be here again. We're gonna be at almost, not quite.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe
no, because
perhaps, but we never crossed the finish line.
Maybe
No,
you should
because
be
we've
more hopeful about the trilogy. You know, the messing around with Fury and Wilder messing around. Maybe you should have been a bit more vocal. Maybe you
But
should have been
also, Raphie, you've also got to realize there's no rematch clauses in these two fights coming up. There's no rematch clauses because one's already a rematch, the other one's a mandatory. So there's no rematch clauses in that. This is the closest we've been in the past 10, 15 years of Undisputed. Because now because now, if Tyson Fury wins it, his biggest payday is going to be Joshua if Joshua wins. He's undisputed. The easiest way and I think he feels Usyk's an easier fight than Joshua would be for himself. That's why he's entertaining it. So either way, if Fury wins, he gets he either gets undisputed or he gets a hell of a lot of money. Boom. If Dillian Whyte wins, we know Dillian Whyte does not care who he gets in there with. He will fight them.
All right, but the point that I'm making is this. At the end of the day, it is already crystal clear who the top two heavyweights are. We know this. It's universal. I want to say everyone on this panel, everyone in the chat will agree that Fury and Usyk are number one and number two, whichever order you want to place them in. Can we agree that they are the top two heavyweights?
I definitely can agree with that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, let's for sure. But let's just hang fire for a little bit. We're gonna get these fights underway. We're gonna get Usyk versus Joshua. We're gonna get there's a round robin going on now. We're in the semifinals. We're gonna get
that's fine. That's fine and dandy.
Whyte in the semifinals, and the winner of each of those is gonna head into the finals.
Fight Doctor. Also, we can say the 1 and 2, but now these two also need to defend it. Fury needs to defend it against somebody that's not Deontay Wilder. Let's be honest, because in the past 5 years he's fought Deontay Wilder only.
Okay, he can defend against Alexander Usyk.
No,
because that's the fight that needs to happen.
What I'm saying is for these two to. I know it's universal, in the 1 and 2 because they've got the belt.
Versus AJ is a bigger fight.
One second, Raphie. I know these two were saying the 1 and 2 because they've got the belts, but now they need to defend it because Usyk hasn't defended his belt yet.
He can defend his belts against Tyson Fury.
Yeah, but he can also defend his belt to solidify that he's number 1 or number 2 against AJ in the rematch.
I think he solidifies more by beating Fury than he does by beating a guy who he already beat convincingly, might I add you.
If AJ beats,
at the end of the day, this rematch between Usyk and Joshua is meaningless. It doesn't mean anything.
It's
not going to tell us anything we don't already know. Who's picking Joshua to win that fight?
No, it doesn't matter who you pick.
It will be the biggest grossing fight out there in the heavyweight division right about now.
Okay. Right, you're right.
It doesn't matter who you're picking. It doesn't matter who you're picking. If AJ wins, it's not a pointless fight, is it?
It's a pointless fight because we've already seen it.
But it's not if AJ wins. If AJ wins, it's not a pointless fight.
And here's the reason why. Here's the reason why it's pointless. Here's the reason why it's pointless.
We haven't seen AJ, so we ain't seen that.
Here is what you talking about. We just saw the fight. We just saw Usyk. We just saw. Well, I'm not quite sure where you were that night, but a few months ago, we saw Alexander Usyk piece up and dress and undress and take apart Anthony Joshua. I saw it, and the rest of the
Andy
world saw it.
Ruiz. We also saw Andy Ruiz knock him out, and a lot of people were saying the same thing. There's no point in him going back in there with Andy Ruiz. Look what happened in the second fight. At the end of the day, AJ has.
So that
no,
was,
one second. Let me finish.
That was Andy Ruiz.
Let me finish. At the end of the day, we have seen, and AJ has proved that when he's given a second chance at the same guy, he can make adjustments. So to turn around and say that this fight is pointless and not giving him a chance to make adjustments against this guy, whereas he's proven it against somebody else. Yeah, it might well only be Andy Ruiz, like you're saying, but still, it gives him credence to have a go at making adjustments against this guy. We've seen him do it.
It's pointless in the sense that, one, the fight wasn't particularly interesting. 2, Joshua was soundly beat, and 3, it's pointless because there are bigger fish to fry.
It's arguable that Andy Ruiz beat him better. Than
what does Andy Ruiz have to do with the price of tea in China? But let me finish. What does Andy Ruiz have to do with the price of tea in China, or the fact that Tyson Fury represents a bigger challenge than does Anthony Joshua? That's a fact. That's a fact.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
Though, is it?
Yes, it is a fact.
Why is it a fact?
Joshua's been beaten twice. Fury's undefeated.
So what?
So what?
Yeah.
Tyson Fury is the bigger challenge. He's the number one heavyweight in the world. Okay?
Well,
Joshua is not. Therefore, Fury represents a bigger challenge than does Anthony Joshua.
Sure.
This isn't rocket science. This is simple mathematics.
This is your opinion, though.
It's not my opinion. It's a fact.
You should be
happy.
You should be happy that
Tyson Fury is a higher rated fighter than Anthony Joshua. It's not my opinion.
Yes,
It's a fact.
He's higher ranked.
He is.
My opinion. That's not my opinion. It's a fact.
He's higher ranked.
Now, guys, stop with the cheerleading, please.
Who's cheerleading?
No, you're cheerleading. You're not listening to anybody else's score.
How am I cheerleading when I'm stating the clear facts?
No, you're not. You're stating an opinion.
FACKTS, the facts.
You're stating an opinion.
So it's my opinion that Tyson Fury is higher rated than Anthony Joshua. That's my opinion.
Hold on.
It's your opinion. It's a harder fact.
I'm saying the opinion. Okay, so then my question to you is...
hold on. I'm going to have to start muting mics now because people are talking over each other. Now, I've already said that Tyson Fury is higher ranked than Anthony Joshua. But I've also said that we're heading into the semifinals now. And after the semifinals, hopefully we get to the finals. I've also said that, we can't be crying about this. You should have been crying years ago. We can't be crying about this now. We're in the semifinals. And, we're going to see what happens. It's very simple. But we're going to have our final words on this topic. And firstly, we're going to go with the Fight Doctor as we come to the closing of the show. The Fight Doctor, your final words, please.
It is not my opinion that Tyson Fury is higher rated than Anthony Joshua. That is the fact, the FACKT of the matter. That's a fact.
What's a fact?
I didn't make that up.
What's a fact?
I didn't pull it out of my ass.
What's
a fact?
What's a fact?
That Tyson Fury is higher rated than Anthony Joshua.
Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that?
Okay, so I'm not arguing my opinion. I am arguing the FACKTS facts.
Well, didn't I just say
that? And the fact of the matter is, Usyk Fury is the most relevant fight. Is the most relevant fight that can be had. Is the most significant fight to be made in the heavyweight division. That's a fact.
Well, today, yeah.
But we're talking about today.
We're talking about today. What about after the semifinals?
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? I'm talking about the here and now. We have
to have the semifinals right now. Those fights are contracted. We're having the semifinals, and then we're going to hopefully move into the finals. You should be happy. But first and foremost, AJ Spade, aka Alex, comes in with a nice little super chat, and that is much appreciation. goes out to you. Much appreciation. What we got here? We got the DT3 up in the building. We got the Alex up in the building. The Georgie Porgy. The Uncle Burnt apostrophe. Everybody's coming in. But we're coming to the close. Okay. So, what we saying here? Hold on, let me just drop the link in the chat again for anybody who wants to come in with the closing arguments. You know what's up. You know Tyson Fury versus Whyte has been mandated. Let me share my screen just in case anybody's coming in and the news is new to them. Breaking news. Let's bring that up on the screen. What are you doing? Who's tapping the pipe? What we got here? We got the Paul Evans up in the building. Where did I see? Oh, we got the big boys boxing up in here. And of course, you know we got the Lisa Bales who comes in and supports the channel, supports the show, and becomes a sponsor of the show alongside Alex, aka AJ Spade. Closing arguments, gentlemen. Closing arguments. We'll start off with the fight doctor. So you got to come with your closing argument, make it cohesive. It can be anything you want, but remember, this fight has been mandated. So come with it, the fight doctor. Come with it, my friend. Come with it.
So the point that I'm trying to make is that despite whatever the WBC has to say with their foolishness, and despite whatever rematch clause has to say with between Usyk and Joshua, the only significant fight to be made right now in 2021 December is Usyk and Fury. That's the only fight in the heavyweight division that matters. Anything else is a distraction, a sideshow, a cash grab, a distraction. Okay, we saw Usyk soundly beat Fury. I'm sorry, we saw Usyk soundly beat Joshua. There's no question who the better fighter is, right? We saw Fury knock out Deontay Wilder for the second time. We saw Dillian Whyte get one punch knocked out by a 40-year-old heavyweight. So I don't need to see Fury fight Dillian Whyte, not when he can fight Alexander Usyk, who in my mind is the higher rated heavyweight. We should listen. As fight fans, we should want to see the best fight the best.
Yeah.
Right now we're not getting that.
The best fight the best, and you know.
Well, right now we're not getting that. Right now we're getting the WBC and their shenanigans. We're getting Usyk and Joshua and their shenanigans, but we're not seeing the best fight the best. And it's a shame.
Hello, gents. How y'all doing? Could I chime in right quick?
Stick around for it, Doctor.
Please do.
Jay Spade, come on through.
Please do.
Come on through.
Fire live, sir. You remember Lady Chan's chat? Glad to be a part of the live. I'm going to tune in from now on. This is a great live you're having, sir. Great credit. Great stuff.
Much appreciation.
Okay. Let me chime in. Let me give my 2 cents. I'm finally happy that the WBC has ordered this fight. I'm glad they finally got they're getting the ducks in order. Dillian Whyte has deserved this fight for a long time. He should have gotten it a long time ago. And and now I kind of disagree with some points that the fight doctor was making. No disrespect to you, sir. I respect your opinion, but I mean, of course, the Usyk rematch with AJ, that's probably going to be bigger than the first fight and make a lot of money. So it's going to be great for the division, great for the sport, and finally gives AJ a chance to prove once and for all if he could beat this guy. Yeah. And he said that Dillian Whyte got knocked out by Povetkin. That's true, but he avenged that loss earlier this year, so that's irrelevant, and got his spot back. So, and then Povetkin retired after, so Dillian Whyte put Dillian Whyte back in the mix. And I just hope this fight happens. I mean, the question now that I have in my mind is Fury going to vacate the belt? So.
Well, that's the question. Does he vacate the belt or does he go ahead? How do you feel about the fight doctor's position that the only fight that really matters right about now is Fury and Usyk? How do you feel? What's your stance on that?
I agree. I mean, I would like it to happen, but the fact of the matter is, there's contracts in place, there's obligations that need to be met and fulfilled. So until we get that, we can't get the undisputed fight yet. I mean, I wish we got it this year already with Fury versus Joshua. Yeah, but Fury dropped the ball, Barbarian dropped the ball. They led everybody to believe that the arbitration would not get in the way, which is a lie. It obviously did, and if they knew this in advance, why wouldn't they take steps and certain measures to prevent that from happening and forego and lead everybody into believing that the fight was going to happen when it wasn't? So before that, it was Joshua versus Wilder. Wilder ducked the fight, didn't want it, turned down several career high offers. Everybody knows this, so you can find it online. So that's his fault. I really don't fault him for that. Then he goes in there and gets destroyed by Fury twice, so that's on him. But yeah, I mean, I would like to see Fury up there. Hey, we got great substitutes in between. Those are two really good fights. I'm looking forward to see if AJ could avenge his loss to Usyk. I don't really like his chances because Usyk is not an Andy Ruiz, a much more skilled opponent. He pretty much got schooled the last time around. I was actually pretty shocked by how badly he lost.
Yeah.
And Fury versus AJ is another good fight. That could be staged in the. I'm American. I'm from the U.S., but I really don't care where the fight takes place. I'm going to be tuning in. It's a great fight for the division. It's a great fight in the UK. To pack the house. Dylan Whyte's a big name out there. Let's get it on. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's get it on. Let's get it on. And that was AJ Spade. Much appreciation for your contribution.
No problem, Raphael. Always. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to joining more lives too as well.
Hey, you're most welcome. Always welcome. That was the AJ Spade. Much appreciation goes out to him. And then Fight Doctor, you've had your say. So thank you for jumping on. Always interesting to hear your take on things, the Fight Doctor.
Thank you for having me, sir. And till the next go round.
And that was the Fight Doctor. And then there were two ERF Boxing. Much appreciation. Thanks for jumping on. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. And hit all of the good buttons. ERF Boxing, your final words, sir.
Well, there's so much to unpack, but yeah, I don't see the issue with the two fights. Dillian Whyte deserves his shot at Tyson Fury, and AJ was smart enough to put a rematch clause into his fight with Usyk. So as we keep the same energy and the consistency, that if there's a rematch clause and the guy who loses revokes that, gets that rematch clause and takes it, then he should get his rematch. I don't see the issue. I understand the fact that Fury and Usyk those two have got the belt, so they are the number one and the number two. But Fury also hasn't fought anyone but Wilder, in my opinion, in the last 5-6 years. So yeah, he's number one because he's beat the same guy 3 times.
Yeah.
But let's see him defend against somebody else who isn't Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury might well be the number one guy, but he might also be the guy who could just beat Deontay Wilder. And when he gets in there with another top guy, he may struggle.
Yeah.
And he may lose.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
Wouldn't it be nice to see everybody fight each other before we know?
Exactly.
Don't we need to see everybody fight each other before we know who number one is?
My second thing was also, if Usyk and Fury fight now, say this minute, where do we go after here? What fights do we get? Because I'm sure people go, oh, well, no one cares about Dillian Whyte versus Anthony Joshua. No one cares about who else is up. Nobody's going to care about these fights, supposedly. So why not have... We're talking about the top 4 guys at this moment in time, really, fighting each other. We are, because even the losers can fight each other from this semi-final, we can call it.
Yeah. Because
let's say Usyk and Fury do win, you can get a rematch with Dillian Whyte versus Anthony Joshua. That's a massive fight, regardless of those two, just because of the rivalry. So no matter what you get, no matter what happens in the semi-fight, in these 2 fights, you can still get another 2 fights that are world-class fights after this.
100%, and very well said by the ERF Boxing, Eric. We all got work in the morning, so thanks for staying up late. Thanks for staying up late with us. Much appreciation as per usual.
Yep, thanks for having me on, Raphie. Next time,
my friend, have a jolly good night. And that was the ERF Boxing, kind enough to share his time with you and I. And I have no issues with Whyte beating Fury. It don't sound like that fight, Doctor. Seems like you've already made up your mind, even though all the guys haven't fought all the guys. You've made up your mind who's number one, even though, you know, there's lots of fights to be had yet to determine that. Current ranking, that's all cool and again, but we need these guys to fight each other. You should be celebrating. You should be dancing in the streets. Now we're coming closer to find out who really is the best. Who's the best of the best? Okay. So, thank you to everybody who took the time out of their day to jump on the panel. We had the Iron Kong. We had the ERF Boxing. We had the Fight Doctor. And we had the AJ Spay make his debut. Good to have him up in here. And sponsors of the show were AJ Spay and the Lisa Bales. And much appreciation for that. And yeah, much appreciation to everybody who took time out of their day to come and spend it here at the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Okay. So, I'm going to need to come back later on this week. There's still some fights we need to talk about on the weekend. This coming weekend. Still more to chop up. But the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Much appreciation to you all. And have a blessed day. The rest of it, blessed night, blessed morning, wherever you may be. It's Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. It's the Boxing Talk with Raphie. The only thing left for me to say is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, and bless it.